Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen, in writing or any other way?
What does claimed mean? To tell someone you are citizen when you are not citizen.
Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
What does vote mean? To elect president.
Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
What does vote mean? To elect president.
Do you now have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country?
What does hereditary title mean? To be a member of a king and queen family.
Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined to a mental institution?
What does mental institution mean? Hospital for people who are mentally ill.
Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes?
What does owe mean? That I must pay money.
Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident?
What does lawful permanent resident mean? That I have green card.
Have you called yourself a non-U.S. resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident?
What does non-U.S. resident mean? A person who does not live in the U.S.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States, or in any other location in the world?
What does organization mean? A group of people that have the same idea.
Have you ever been a member of, or in any way associated, either directly or indirectly, with, the Communist Party, any other totalitarian party, or a terrorist organization?
What does the Communist Party mean? Bad people. What does totalitarian party mean? Bad people. What does a terrorist organization mean? Bad people.
Have you ever advocated, either directly or indirectly, the overthrow of any government by force or violence?
What does advocate mean? Tell others about your idea. What does overthrow mean? Change the government.
Have you ever persecuted, either directly or indirectly, any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion?
What does persecuted mean? To hurt someone because they are different from you. What does religion mean? To believe in God.
Were you ever involved in any way with any of the following? Genocide, torture, killing, or trying to kill someone, badly hurting, or trying to hurt a person on purpose, forcing, or trying to force someone to have any kind of sexual contact or relations, not letting someone practice his or her religion?
What does Nazi mean? It was the government of Germany. What does genocide mean? To kill many people at the same time. What does torture mean? Give people a lot of pain. What does killing mean? To take someone's life. What does force mean? To make someone do what they don't want to do. What does sexual contact mean? To touch someone by force.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in any of the following groups: military unit, paramilitary unit, police unit, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, guerrilla group, militia, insurgent organization?
What does military unit mean? Soldiers. What does paramilitary mean? A group of people who act like a military. What does police unit mean? Protect people. What does self-defense mean? Protect yourself. What does vigilante unit mean? A group of people who act like the police. What does rebel group mean? A person against the law. What does guerrilla group mean? Using weapons against society. What does militia mean? Army not part of an official military. What does insurgent organization mean? A group of people who uses weapons against the law.
Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier? Or did you otherwise ever serve in any of the following: prison or jail, prison camp, detention facility, labor camp, any other place where people were forced to stay?
What does prison mean? A place for bad people. What does jail mean? A place for bad people. What does detention facility mean? Jail or prison? What does labor camp mean? Force the prisoners to work hard.
Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person, or threatened to do so?
What does weapons mean? It used in fighting and hunting, like gun and knife.
Did you ever sell, give, or provide weapons to any person, or help another person sell, give, or provide weapons to any person?
What does weapons mean? It used in fighting and hunting, like gun and knife.
Did you ever receive any type of military, paramilitary, or weapons training?
What does recruit mean? Enlist someone in the army. What does enlist mean? Enrolled to the army.
Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything that helped or supported people in combat?
What does combat mean? Fighting.
Have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
What does crime mean? To break the law.
Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer, including any immigration official or any official of the U.S. Armed Forces, for any reason?
What does arrested mean? Handcuffed by the police.
Have you ever been charged with committing, attempting to commit, or assisting in committing a crime or offense?
What does charged mean? To pay fine of crime.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense?
What does convicted mean? Found guilty.
Have you ever been placed in an alternative sentencing, or a rehabilitative program? For example, diversion, deferred prosecution, withheld adjudication, deferred adjudication.
What does rehabilitative program mean? Place to help people.
Have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed on probation, or been paroled?
What does probation mean? To be watched by government.
Have you ever been in jail or prison?
What does jail mean? Place for bad people. What does prison mean? Place for bad people.
Have you ever been a habitual drunkard, been a prostitute, or procured anyone for prostitution? Sold or smuggled controlled substances, illegal drugs, or narcotics? Been married to more than one person at the same time? Married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit? Helped anyone to enter, or try to enter, the United States illegally? Gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? Failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony? Made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States?
What does prostitution mean? Sex for money. What does drugs mean? Heroin or cocaine? What does gambled mean? Games for money.
Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading?
What does misrepresentation mean? Giving wrong information. What does false mean? Not true. What does misleading means? Wrong information.
Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States?
What does lied mean? Not truth.
Have you ever been removed, excluded, or deported from the United States?
What does removed mean? Go back to my country. What does excluded mean? Go back to my country. What does deported mean? Go back to my country.
Have you ever been ordered removed, excluded, or deported from the United States?
What does removed mean? Go back to my country. What does excluded mean? Go back to my country.
Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces?
What does armed force mean? The U.S. military.
Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States?
What does the Constitution mean? The supreme law of the land.
Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
What is an oath? A promise to tell the truth.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
What does arms mean? Weapons.
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
What does non-combatant mean? Help the U.S. military in anything.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?